My name is R. Crosby Lyles, and this is News from the Can. I just happened to see this cluster of earthquakes. This is over the past 24 hours. This is near Camden Bay in Alaska, and this is the Beaufort Sea right here. So I looked at that, and I saw that, and I thought, well, that's kind of mysterious. You know, what's with this cluster of earthquakes up here? And they're all, like, very shallow. That's a 44.3 kilometers deep. But the thing about it is that happened after this earthquake at the surface. And there's another surface earthquake here. And a bunch of these earthquakes are right near the surface. 0 kilometers, 0.8. This one I think is at the surface. That's at the surface. So it was a little bit of a mystery, and I thought, well, you know, maybe it's Pingos blowing up. You know, the Pingos that from melting permafrost, the gas builds up and pushes the tundra up, and if you have a static charge, they blow up and then produces a lake. And of course, that when they blow up, that's a significant event that can cause a little earthquake. Thing about it is, forecast is kind of cool up there. 1 degree feels like -2. So if you look at the terrain up here, it is pockmarked with lakes, and that a lot of those lakes come from popping Pingos. Looks like pretty rocky terrain though. In this area where this cluster of earthquakes over the past 24 hours has taken place, and you got 2 new ones in the past hour. But it's odd. It's an odd sort of thing. And when you look at this, get a good look at this terrain here, it's not very pockmarked. I mean, there's a few lakes over here, you know. It was a puzzle. I thought, wow, you know, maybe something's going on. But of course, it's always a good idea to do a little bit of research and come to find out. Now, it's not really that unusual about it. There's Camden Bay right there, and this is the distribution of quaternary faults in Alaska, the black lines, from Quaternary Faults and Fold database for Alaska. Come to find out, Alaska is the most seismically active region, and the link is in the description. This is from Active Faulting and Seismic Hazards in Alaska by R.D. Koehler and G.A. Carver, 2018 Division of Geology and Geophysical Surveys in Alaska. So, but here's the punchline here. Alaska experiences more earthquakes than any other state in the nation and is one of the most seismically active regions of the world. Since the advent of instrumental monitoring of global seismicity, 11% of the world's earthquakes have occurred in Alaska. During the last century, 2 of the 10 largest earthquakes in the world and 9 of the 10 largest earthquakes in the United States were in Alaska. Offshore faults in Alaska are also active sources of large tsunamis that pose hazards to the circum-Pacific region. Seismic hazards include a number of physical phenomena generated during earthquakes that can adversely affect people, their activities, and the human environment. The most common and widespread seismic hazard is strong ground motion. The shaking felt during an earthquake. Other seismic hazards include surface fault displacement, earthquake-triggered landslides and slope failures of various types, including snow avalanches, liquefaction, and other kinds of ground failure. So Alaska is just basically generally sort of unstable, and this is just how it goes down. The current selection includes more earthquakes than your device may be able to display. So that's not necessarily unusual. And to look at their, you know, it's definitely in line when you look at this map. That's Camden Bay, and these are all shallow. The red coloration is 0 to 22 kilometers. So the entire state is racked with very shallow earthquakes. A lot of them look like they're fairly small in magnitude, and it's just the nature of the beast in Alaska. It's kind of sort of a fascinating area. So there you have it. Kind of cold up there. So I wouldn't really expect to see a lot of Pingos popping. And looking at the type of ground that there is there, I don't see a lot of Pingo activity. That looks like pretty hard ground there. Yeah, it's just Alaska. Like the guy said in the movie Chinatown, Jake, it's Chinatown. So that's the deal with Alaska. It's just Alaska. Interestingly, we had that big quake here, and then subsequently there were other quakes going this way that I didn't really keep up with that much because I live in the Western Hemisphere. What can I tell you? Subsequent earthquakes in Chile, followed by earthquakes off of Venezuela, and then the British and American Virgin Islands. In that area, there was some in Costa Rica, California, off the coast of Oregon. And then if you just follow that line straight up, and you see this, this is like on the edge of one of these plates here. So is this the wave sort of bouncing off of this structure that started with this 8.2 earthquake that was 563.4 kilometers deep? Who knows? Could be. So there you have it. It's just one of those things in Alaska. Obviously, they want to study it more. As they said, the seismic activity in Alaska happens to produce a lot of tsunamis. Might be a good idea. I mean, what can you do about it, really? What can you do about it? But Plainville, Kansas, they can tell you all about man-made seismic activity. Soda Springs, Idaho. Is that a gas field that's right next to? Yeah, there you go. You betcha. Oh, they got a couple of them there. Look at that. 2.6, 6 kilometers deep, 9.4 kilometers deep, 2.5. Yeah, that's apparently that's from deep well injection. So there is such a thing as man-made tectonic activity. And it's always better to know than not know, I think. So anyway, that's all I've got for now. Just throwing it out there. Hope you guys are doing good. They got some earthquake activity going on in, negative 1.1 kilometers right by Kilauea. Now they're dealing with this. Just a little bit of distribution of path there. So they're going to get a lot of rain. They're going to get between 10 and 15 inches of rain. My girlfriend grew up in Hawaii, was born there, and I guess the houses there are they're not necessarily built for wind. So that was a concern that she had. I know nothing about it, but that was something that she mentioned. It's always good to be prepared. It's a good time to be prepared. Prepping is the new thing lately. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and that's all I got. My name is R. Crosby Lyles. Thanks for watching, and y'all take care out there, okay? That's it. See you.